Hi, strangers. Oh my goodness, it's so good to be back. I am so sorry that I have been gone for so long, but I cannot believe the amount of people that have subscribed to my channel. Guys, thank you so much. I started this channel to help people, to help other diabetics realize that a low carb lifestyle can be amazing, to help other people following a keto diet. So it is just heartwarming that you all have subscribed. So, again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. So I know I've been gone for a while. We have a new dog in the house. Her name is Bella. I'm looking at her right now. Sorry. I'm going to try to get her on camera for you. She is a mountain cur mix. We adopted her from our local humane society. She's a puppy. I know. George and I said we wouldn't get a puppy, but she stole our hearts, and so we've had her. So it's been very difficult to try to film with her running around the kitchen, and it's just been crazy. Life has been crazy. It's been very chaotic, as I'm sure all of you have had it as well. Now, if you want to fast forward through all my gobbledygook, I will post down below the time that the actual video will start for our dinner tonight. Well, actually, dinner was, this was made a few months ago, so I apologize. It's probably been close to 6. So this is going to be a low-carb, keto-friendly stuffed pepper. So what happened was our eldest, Kaylin, asked me, well, how do you make stuffed peppers? And I said, you know what? Why don't I make a video and I can show you, because that'll be easier than just trying to tell you. And of course, I'm going to do it in a low-carb way because that's what we do here at Keto Kitchen Chaos. Hi, Bella. You going to meet everybody? No, not yet. Okay. So anyways, yeah, so that's what we got going on, and it was delicious. And every time I rewatch a video, I'm like, oh, I need to make that again. I actually forgot this one was on my phone, so that was my bad. I was kind of going through my stuff, and I was like, oh, that's great. I can do that. So I'm working on some new videos to make for you, some different things. You know, there's dog hairs floating everywhere. So, you know, most of us, I think, as we get a little bit older, things change. Our ideas change. Maybe our lifestyle changes. Our dietary needs, you know, kind of correlate into where we are right now. So when I started this channel, I was doing a lot of, well, not a lot, it looks like a lot because there's a lot of like really fatty kind of meals and stuff that we do, but that's not all that we eat. And as a matter of fact, probably over the last year, I've kind of cut way back on the very like just full of heavy whipping cream and cheese. I mean, I still do, don't get me wrong, but I've geared more towards our low carb lifestyle in doing fresh vegetables and grilled meats or baked, or, you know, just kind of like it's mostly a protein and then some low carb vegetables. So again, still we'll throw some cheese in there or a little bit of heavy whipping cream, but not quite as much. And so again, it's just kind of where we are on our journey right now. As with most of you, I'm sure COVID, you know, we put on a little bit of weight. It was just very difficult. I have, well, both of us have been working really hard to lose those pounds that we found. And one of the things that I have discovered is a spin bike. So again, I'm sorry, it's a little bit long-winded. I just really wanted to catch up with you guys real quick. So I bought a spin bike about a month and a half or so ago. I've never had one. I've never really been on one. I've been always intrigued and have ridden a regular bicycle outside most of my life. That's how I grew up in, you know, rural Pennsylvania, is we rode your bike. You rode your bike everywhere. So a friend of mine got one and kept talking it up, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do it. It has changed my life. You know, I say that like I mean it. It has changed my life. I feel unstoppable. I feel fearless. I feel just on top of the world. My mood has improved tenfold. I feel a lot more like my old self. I really do. Like and it's because of the bike. Like it's just, you know, I found this girl. Her name is Cauli Cohen. It's KC cycling. She's amazing. She's uplifting. She's great. And again, I am so happy right now. Like I just am. And spring's around the corner. And so, yeah, here we go. All right. Enough of my babble. Again, thanks guys. And if you fast forward through this, hey, I don't blame you. I sometimes don't want to hear me talk either. So let's just kind of go right into our recipe for our keto stuffed peppers. Enjoy guys. I love you. Thank you so much. All right, guys, so this is our cast of characters minus what we're going to do for the tomato sauce. I'll show you that in a minute, but I have our three bell peppers. Aren't they pretty, the little tricolored peppers there? I have some riced cauliflower, some onion, garlic, and a pound of ground beef and about a half a pound of ground pork. And we're going to go ahead and start chopping up our onions and garlic so we can get that cooking. All right, gang, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna start frying up our onions, and then we'll throw our beef in. So I'm just gonna put about a teaspoon of bacon fat in there. I don't want a whole lot, just enough to get the onions started before I put the beef in. And we're gonna turn our heat on to about medium low. All right, so we're just gonna get that fat melted in there. And then we're gonna go in with our onions first. So we got about a half a cup of chopped onions here. All right, and then we're just gonna let those go just for a couple of minutes, and then we're gonna add our beef. And to that, we are gonna go ahead and add, like I said, about a half a pound of ground pork. And about a pound of ground beef. Now we're probably going to have more filling to pepper ratio, but that's okay because anything that I do, we will just freeze it and use it for something else. All right, so we're just going to start that cooking. Then to this, we are going to add about a teaspoon and a half of salt. So the measurement that I use for ground beef or pork is about a teaspoon per pound. And then that way, because if you have something that you can't really taste, although we will taste this before we stuff our peppers, then we know about how much salt we're putting in. So I'm gonna just kind of fill that one half. So since we have a pound and a half of meat, we're gonna do a teaspoon and a half of salt. And then we're also just gonna throw in some cracked black pepper to taste. And we'll throw a little bit more in there. And then that's pretty much it. I have that fresh garlic. We'll be adding that towards the end. And that's going to be your basic seasonings. Now, of course, you can add whatever you like. Again, this is just kind of a basic recipe. I want to keep it super simple for Kalen so that he can make it and not have to worry about adding anything extra if he doesn't have it on hand. But I will tell you, maybe some garlic powder or onion powder would be awesome. All right, so we're just gonna get this fried up. So the beef is cooked about 3/4 of the way, and we're gonna go ahead and go in with our garlic. So I have 3 cloves of garlic that I chopped up, and we're just gonna go ahead and add that in, and we're gonna continue to cook. And then I'm going to show you how I'm going to cut the peppers while it's finishing doing its business. Okay, so a lot of people will like cut the top off and then stuff the pepper that way, but because George and I don't eat a whole lot, that's really a lot of pepper. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut the pepper in half this way. So like that. And this is actually the way I do all of my stuffed peppers. Because again, that's going to be a meal for both of us. And then we're just going to go around and we're going to cut out the middle part. You see what I'm doing there? So that we can get all of the seeds out. And you don't want to waste any pepper, so you just want to cut right around the stem. And you just pull that out. And voila! You have half of a pepper. All right, I'm just going to go ahead and do that with the rest of them. And then I'm going to put them in my baking pan that I have sprayed with some coconut oil. And then we're going to get those stuffed, and then we're going to move on to our sauce. On to filling the peppers. Okay, so you can see that we have our peppers all nice and cleaned out. Got all the seeds out of there. So now you can do this one of 2 ways. You can drain your beef. You can put this in a colander and drain that fat away. Okay, the oven's ready. It's at 350, by the way. I set that at 350. Or you can do like I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of spoon around that because I want to use that fat to help make my sauce. So step 1 is going to be to fill your peppers with our ground beef, onion, and garlic mixture. By the way, I did taste this. It was delicious. It was just the right amount of salt. So you want to make sure you taste it before you start filling your peppers. And then we're just going to, oh, guys, see, this is what happens. And this is why I have named this channel the way I have. because my life is chaotic. I forgot to add our rice. Oh, okay, give me a second. Okay, well, so anyways, I'm going to show you how to drain this because I need to drain some of this fat off so I can add the rice to our mixture. So I have a small colander inside of a glass bowl because I want to save this fat. I'm going to use some of it for our sauce, but if there's extra, then we'll have it. And then I'm just going to pour the beef in here very carefully. All right, just like that. All right, guys, so I just threw the beef back in here. I have the fat over here to the side. And now we're going to add our cauliflower rice. So you can either make your own rice cauliflower, which I've done a lot in the past, or you can be very convenient and buy an already rice cauliflower because actually it ends up being less expensive that way. So this one I got from Aldi's, and it's really nice. It actually has herbs and garlic in it. And we're just going to go ahead and stir this in. Now, this is still frozen. I did not thaw this. I did not cook it because it's going to be cooking in the oven. I didn't want to overdo it. And I'm just going to get that mixed in into our beef mixture. And then we're going to start stuffing our peppers again. All right, so we've mixed in our cauliflower rice with our ground beef and pork mixture. And now we are going to stuff our peppers. So you're just gonna fill them up with the ground beef, or the ground pork too, and then we're gonna place that into our baking dish. So just like that. So we're gonna fill all of these, and then I'm gonna show you how we're gonna do our sauce. All right, so for our sauce, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a spoonful or two of our beef fat into the same pan that we use because I don't really want to wash another pan. And since all the flavors are going to go together, why would we do that? And then to that, I'm going to add some chopped scallion. Now, you can use onion for this if you don't have a scallion. I just happen to have these for another recipe, so I just want to go ahead and use them up. So let me get that chopped up and then we'll put that in the pan. So for our tomato sauce, we're going to use tomato sauce. So try to get one that doesn't have any added sugar to it, and so that'll keep it a little bit lower in your carbohydrates. And then we have our sliced up green onions that we're going to throw into the fat. And then I also went out to the garden. I picked up some parsley, a little bit of thyme, and some basil. So Kaylin, I know you're not going to have that available, so dried is fine. If you just put a little bit, probably about a half a teaspoon of each into your sauce, just taste it and, you know, add as you need. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get this started. So we have our onions on a pretty low heat. Again, because they're scallions, I don't want to blast them too much. But even if you're using regular onions, you want to do them kind of low. You just want to start cooking them a little bit. Now we're going to go in with our tomato sauce, and you're just going to add that. All right. And then, again, because I'm doing this for Kaylin, I want to show you how I'm chopping up my herbs. So Kaylin, if you happen to get some herbs, or my other peeps that are watching this video, you are just going to take them off of the stems, the big woody part. Again, if you don't have access to fresh herbs, that's fine. Dried will be just okay. So you're just going to kind of put them in a pile. You're going to take your knife and very carefully, do not get your fingers. You're just going to rock the knife over your herbage. Sophie's whining because it's close to her feeding time, so I apologize for that. But you're just going to kind of go over them until they're minced up, and then we're just going to add that to our sauce. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and finish doing this, and then we're going to give our sauce a taste and see what else we need to add to it. All right, guys, so once we have added all of our herbs, we are just going to cook this for about 5 minutes on the stove. We just kind of want to get rid of any canned taste that we have from that tomato paste. But I already actually tasted it, and it's tasting pretty good. So I don't really think I'm going to actually add any salt to this. And yeah, we're just going to cook this down for a minute, and then we're going to pour it over our peppers and get those bad boys into the oven. All right, so here are our hot mess peppers, and you can see that I kind of overfilled them a little bit. I did have extra meat and rice, and I'm just going to put that in a container and put that into the freezer. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're just going to put the sauce over top of our peppers. So I'm going to get my pot holder here because it's hot. And we're just going to take our spoon and we're just going to spoon it over like so. And we're just going to do that to all the peppers, and then we're going to put that in the oven. So I have the oven at 350, and we're going to cook these for about a half an hour. So I'll see you guys in about a half an hour. All right, so our peppers are done. So they just took about 30 minutes in the oven. They don't look the prettiest, but they are going to be delicious. So I'm going to get these plated up, and then we'll give it a little taste for you. All right, gang, here we go. I'm going to give you the taste and see how that is. Well, that's delicious. So I like it because the pepper is a little bit crunchy. Just not overdone, because I really like to have a little bit of texture. So if you wanted to cook a little bit more, if you like a little bit more of a smushy pepper, I would maybe let it go another 10 minutes. But otherwise, I think that is delicious. So yeah, there you go. All right, we're going to go eat dinner. You guys have a good night. Be kind to each other. It really matters. Keep that smile going, all right? All right, peace, guys. Bye.